Welcome back, everybody. As y'all may know, Tom Benson, the owner of the New Orleans Hornets, has announced that he's changing our team's name to the New Orleans Pelicans. How do y'all feel about that? You know, I have to admit, like when I first heard that, I wasn't so hot on the idea, but then I met somebody that changed my mind. Without further ado, I'd like to bring him out here to tell you all why the New Orleans Pelicans is the best team name in the whole NBA. We're going to bring him out right now. TREW, a moment in sports.
Oh, okay. Basketball Joe!
Chris, man, good to see you again, man. How you doing? How you doing? Do you need some tissue? That was a pretty,
I'm
that
good.
song.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Trey. So emotive. So Chris, man, I was kind of a doubter. I was hoping we'd be called the New Orleans Bounce or something, that was going to be like all, and I'm like, come on, the Pelicans. But then I met you and I talked to you and I'm like, I'm sold. So tell my lovely audience why.
All right. So it sounded like you guys were kind of on board with it anyway, but all the doubters, let me help you out for a few moments here. First of all, the #1 argument against the Pelicans is that it's not a fierce mascot. It doesn't strike fear into the heart of opponents. Well, check it out. When you're a professional NBA basketball player, you're not sitting in the locker room thinking, oh no, I'm terrified of the name of the other team right now.
Right.
That has never happened in the history of professional sports. That has never happened. So if we go one level below that, the next thing is people are like, well, it's fun to root for a team that has a ferocious name, RAR, whatever. By my count, 22 of the 32 NBA team names you would not be scared of them if you saw them in person. Just a couple of quick ones. Would you be scared of the year 1776? Would you be?
Was there indoor plumbing? That sounds a little...
All right. All right. Would you be scared? Would you be scared of the slowest car in the Indy 500 race? That's the pacer, right? It's not the fastest one. It's the one that sets it's like the slow, like, you know what I'm saying?
The pace car. They have cars. These cars can go like 250 miles an hour.
Right.
And the thing's going around at like 70 miles an hour.
Hey, make some noise if you're scared of a pair of pants. That's the world famous New York Knicks. It's short for Knickerbockers. That's not a joke. I mean, it's a joke because it is a joke, like the idea of being scared of that. But I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Like Heat, Lakers.
I mean, think about it. Like the Oklahoma. Everyone knows Oklahoma Thunder. I mean, Thunder's not scary. It's the lightning you got to worry about, right? Not the thunder. That's just a bunch of noise. And now the other thing you told me is like the Pelicans is very culturally relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Memphis Grizzlies. If you see a grizzly bear, you're going to be hanging out on Beale Street, and you're going to see a grizzly bear.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
Right? Okay, so it's culturally significant because they're actually going to be the first professional sports team that's named after whose mascot is a symbol for something that's very near and dear to the city, and that's coastal restoration. Because the Pelican.
Hell yeah, man.
Because the Pelican is a symbol of coastal restoration, and it's kind of like the unofficial, or now official, mascot of this region of the country. And no other NBA team name or any other pro sport name could be like, we're named this because of this very serious thing that affects this part of the country that we all believe in. So it's constantly shining a light and giving attention to that. And I think that's super important.
And look at this cool logo. He's got
look at that cool logo, you guys. So check it out. So a couple things check out my hair. A couple, but there's a little crescent moon in the basketball. They got subtle Crescent City references. Like there's a crescent above the Pelicans, they had a crescent in the basketball. All kinds of subtle things. They just did a really badass bang-up job on the logo, and I think that everyone should be super stoked about it. So anyone who was like, everyone here who was like, I love the Saints because it's the Saints. I love the Saints. You should start saying the same thing about the Pelicans because they have more games than the Saints have. I also love the Saints. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's just so important that people.
Also, Chris, a pelican is a fierce animal.
Yes.
You know what? With that throat pouch, a pelican could swoop up LeBron James and slam dunk him. You know what I'm talking about? Are you getting fired up or what, Chris?
You are.
I am. Come on. I think now. What's the new chant? Come on.
Yeah. So it's not super complex, but at the press conference, they're using the chant that the Pelicans, the old baseball team, used, who played on Tulane Avenue back in the day, and it's simply "Let's go Pels." So people have been wondering what's the shortened version of Pelicans. It's Pels. So get used to it. It's "Let's go Pels."
Well, why don't you lead us in a chant, Chris?
All right. So we'll say this side of the room is "Let's." The middle right here is "Go," and everyone on this side, including the bartender who's doing a wonderful job serving drinks, who's going to hook me up with a nice free drink when I'm done with this, is Pels. So let's go Pels. I sounded up, now you point.
Okay.
Let's go Pels!
Let's go Pels!
Let's go Pels! Nailed it!
Yeah!
You nailed it! Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming on. And everybody, that was a moment in sports.
Basketball!